How's it going, you guys? Seb here, back with another video. Today's going to be a bit of a shorter video. Just wanted to go over some of my goals for the rest of the year, 2025, and then kind of going into 2026 a little bit too. Just to kind of take a quick step back though, just for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sebastian Salisbury. I am an ultra runner from Santa Barbara, California, and I have been running ultra marathons since I was about 8 or 9 years old. First ultra marathon at the Red Rock 50K back in 2014, I believe. Might be wrong, but from there I kind of just realized that I had a passion for running around out in the mountains, and it kind of just progressed into more and more, while also taking a very conservative approach and realizing how young I was and not wanting to burn myself out. When I was about 5 years old, my parents realized that I was a kid that had a lot of energy, and just taking me to the park was not quite going to make the cut. It kind of just made sense. I would go on hikes with them up in the mountains as a way to get my energy out, and they could quickly see how much I was thriving and just really finding who I was by exploring the mountains. But from there, I went on to do the 9 Trails 35 mile, which is one of the most challenging ultra races in the US. It's 35 miles across the Santa Barbara front country with about 11,500 feet of elevation gain, or 3,500-ish meters of climbing. Then I ran the Black Canyon 100K, I ran the Speed Goat short course, and the Born to Run 50K, the No Name 50K, and many other races that I'm definitely forgetting right now. I've also done other races as well, distances ranging from 5K all the way up, like I said, to 100K was the farthest I've gone so far. And when I turned 18 years old, I became a professional athlete and started working with an athlete representative. From there, I've just been kind of learning life as a professional runner and kind of exploring opportunities now as I get older and seeing what makes the most sense for me. So that's a small deep dive into my background, but just so I can talk quickly about my goals for 2025, what I'm planning on doing is racing the Kodiak 25K October 11th. And then November 22nd, I'll be racing the Pacific Trails 50K here in San Ynez, just right over the hill. My main goal for Kodiak this year is just to improve on my time from 2024, where I placed 6th. And I felt like I had a great race, but I feel like I could have gone into it still slightly more prepared. So my main goal this year is to come back feeling more fit than ever, race for a podium spot, and basically put myself in a position to win the race from the beginning, to see how it pans out from there. Obviously not going to be reckless, and I'm going to be running in myself, but it is a race and you can't be showing up the start lines having doubts. And then my A race for the rest of this year is going to be the Pacific Trails 50K that I was just talking about in San Ynez. It's a first annual UTMB race here in Santa Barbara, which is pretty awesome. It's always cool when Santa Barbara gets some recognition. And my main goal for that race as well is to put myself in a position to podium or get top 5. Basically, I want to run my own race and run within myself and see where that gets me, versus focusing on competition around me. You do need to be aware of what's going on around you, but not let that affect your race and your goals. There's a big difference between a 25K and a 50K. You can kind of go all out for a 25K or pretty much close to redlining earlier on. With a 50K or any other ultra marathon, I mean, 50K still being on the shorter side of the ultras, is a bit more strategic in how the day pans out. This course is going to be a 32-mile loop course, so it's going to be a point-to-point. I'll be seeing all new terrain the entire day. There's 2 or 3 main climbs. The first climb being about 300 meters, 400 meters of vert, and 1,200 feet of climbing. So pretty doable, it's in the first 4 miles of the course. That's pretty much the main climb that gets you up to the altitude that you're going to be climbing at for most of the race. And I believe there's 2 main climbs. And I think a big part of it is just going to be staying on top of my fueling and just trusting in my legs with the training that I've been putting in, that I'll be able to maintain a strong close to the day. Just wanted to put a brief chat out there so you guys know my goals for the rest of this year. And in my next video, I'll probably be doing a training video on one of my hill days or long run days leading up into either Kodiak or Pacific Trails. I am going to also be leaving to train in Mammoth for 3 weeks before Kodiak as well, so I can get acclimated to the altitude. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I know it was brief. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of my plans for 2025. Let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see in the comments, whether that be a day in the life, kind of how I spend my days training for these races, balancing school with ultra running with the social life. Definitely looking forward to making new content on here. And please let me know if you have any recommendations. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.